Now, last month, India and Pakistan had agreed to abide by the 2003 ceasefire agreement. However, army sources reiterated that there would be no let-up in counter-terror operations as a result of the agreement, adding that the agreement with Pakistan was an attempt to bring violent levels down, but the army retained the right to respond in case there is a terror attack in the future. Here's an exclusive report filed by my colleague Gursimran. Take a look.
On February 22nd, India and Pakistan agreed to abide by the 2003 ceasefire agreement to ensure peace in the region. But based on past experiences, Indian forces are not taking a chance.
After failing to face the might of border security force deployed at the international border, Pakistan has now resorted to pushing terrorists through tunnels, and 11 such incidents have come into being in past 10 years, and in last 6 months 4 such incidents have happened. We are at the international border, and I'll request Sir Jeevan to show you the visuals how the BSF is thwarting the attempts of the Pakistan to push in terrorists through the tunnels. We have often seen how the area opposite to this, the Shakargarh and the Sialkot districts of the Pakistan, which is a terror hub and a home to 4 to 5 terror launch pads, including that of Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba. They have been making regular attempts to push in terrorists into the Indian soil by using the tunnels, and in past 6 months after the Nagrota encounter on November 19, in which 4 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists were gunned down, 4 tunnels have been unearthed by the border security force in the Samba and Kathua area of Jammu and Kashmir, and through these tunnels the Pakistan was planning to push in terrorists into the Indian soil, but the alert BSF troops have foiled the Pakistan's nefarious designs, and now they are keeping a strict vigil on each and every activity of the Pakistani side, because there is an uneasy calm on the international border, and Pakistan might try to take advantage of this to push in terrorists into the Indian territory along the international border.
Pakistan has repeatedly tried to infiltrate into the Indian side through thick vegetation along the international border, along with supplying weapons to insurgents through drones, and pushing terrorism through its cross-border tunnels. With 8 incidents of weapon drop through drones in the last 8 months alone, BSF troops in forward posts are keeping a strict vigil. From monitoring any kind of aerial movement to vigilance across thick forest areas along the line of control.
On 22nd February 2021, both India and Pakistan armies agreed upon to abide by the 2003 ceasefire agreement, thus making it sure that there is a peace and calm along the international border as well as the line of control. But this seems an uneasy calm, as there are desperate attempts by Pakistan to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir, and in recent past the activities have heightened, and suddenly it came to an end after this ceasefire agreement was being abided by both the armies. But the BSF troops deployed along the international border are making it sure that there is a peace and tranquility, and the sanctity of the India remains intact, and for this they are making it very sure that any nefarious design of the Pakistan gets foiled, because there is a continuous apprehension that under the grab of this uneasy calm, Pakistan may try to vitiate the peace process by sending in terrorists as well as the weapons through the international border, as this has been a norm for the last 6 to 8 months, that Pakistan is making desperate attempts, be it via drone or sending terrorists through tunnels, and for this the Jawans of the BSF are on alert 24/7, making it sure that if any nefarious design or plan of Pakistan is attempted on the international border, it is given a befitting reply.
Tunnels are another major threat faced by the border forces, and the number has only drastically increased since the abrogation of Article 370.
BSF is facing triple challenge along the international border. One is the infiltration through the dense forest. Second is the terror tunnel route, which is being followed by the Pakistan. And third is the weapon dropping using the drones. Right now we are inside a bunker at international border, and BSF Jawans deployed at the international border, so keeping a strict vigil at the international border area, because on the opposite side is the Pakistan, which cannot be trusted at any cost, and they are keeping a strict vigil round the clock. This happens with without even a single miss, and they are now keeping an eye on the opposite area because there are dense forests in the other side of the fence, which is the Pakistan side, and that dense forests are being used by Pakistan to push in terrorists into the Indian territory. But not only this, they are also keeping a vigil on any kind of aerial movement, because in the last 8 months we have seen that same number of attempts, that is 8 attempts, have been made by the Pakistani side. This all started on June 20 when the first attempt was foiled by the alert BSF troops in the Hiranagar sector, and post that 8 instances have come into being where Pakistan has used drone to push in terrorists to push in the weapons into the Indian territory, and a major chunk of them were recovered, and BSF had foiled that all attempts. But there is a continuous threat that Pakistan might try to do that again, and for the same, these BSF Jawans who are deployed at the forward post, they are making it very sure that any aerial movement gets noticed and they are foiled within the no time, so that the Pakistan's nefarious designs to destabilize Jammu and Kashmir is foiled. Because in last month as well, on the Pulwama anniversary, we have seen a similar kind of attempt by the Pakistan, which was foiled in the Ramgarh sector of the Samba district.
Experts have suggested that the motive behind the peace agreement is to evade the scrutiny of the Western world. FATF has already refused to remove Pakistan from its grey list. Indian forces, on the other hand, are making sure that peace and sanctity remains intact along the line of control.
Though there is an uneasy calm along the international border as well as the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir after both the countries, India and Pakistan, agreed on the ceasefire agreement 2003. But the forces are leaving no stone unturned and taking no chance that Pakistan gets succeed in its nefarious designs, as there are apprehensions that Pakistan has done this peace agreement with India just for the sake of getting out of the FATF grey list. So for this, the security forces are on alert and are taking no chance that the Pakistan's nefarious designs are getting succeed in Jammu and Kashmir.
Bureau Report, Republic TV.